So what do you do when you've got a puppy going off to a new owner and they say to you, does the puppy use a doggy door? Well, as most trainers will do, you find some cardboard, you find some gaffer tape, and you find a doggy door that actually is a cat door because that's all you've got on hand. And you set yourself up with a bundle of high value treats and you see what happens. So the first trick is, because this has got a really solid plastic flap on it, it's very hard. I find it's been, in the past when I've used these, it's been hard for dogs to understand to push that flap. It is really easy once they push it, but they think it's really solid. So I always start with the flap, as you can see, partially opened, to give them the idea of going in and out. And my bigger dogs didn't want to do it. Little Cece here and Red Girl, who's now called Luna, who's going to her new home next week or the week after. They're much smaller and they picked it up really fast. So particularly Cece, and they were okay with getting down and sliding under it. And once they've done that, literally only once or twice, so I think this is about the second time they've done it, I then started to think about taking off the fact that it was sitting. Once I knew they were getting in and coming back out, I took off the bit of gaffer tape that was actually holding it up just a fraction. I think that's the next one I've got here. Yeah, so I've taken the gaffer tape off now, that was holding it up, and now they've got to work out how to push it themselves to either get in or get out. This took, Cece was already out here by the looks of it. It took little Red Girl a little bit longer to work it out. Cece worked out to push it quite quickly. Now, positive reward-based training, this is all this is. This is not forcing dogs to go in there. It's not putting them on leads and dragging them in. It's using what we call shaping. So little Red Girl there, Luna, had worked it out quite quick, and I'm sitting there with the thing of treats, and the minute she comes out, she gets a nice treat. And of course, the other dogs are getting a nice treat just because they were there as well. And it's also being patient and letting them work it out. All of my dogs, except for some of my older dogs and dogs not bred by me, they're exposed to positive reward training literally from birth. Doing a lot of shaping, a lot of luring, a lot of just rewarding for stuff that I really like. Banjo wasn't, which is the black and white boy, and Callie wasn't, the creamy colour cavoodle, but Mr. B was, because I bred him. That's the big old male, and that the smaller black and white male is, I bred him as well. And it's just letting them, I actually got the giggles there because there were a little few treats just the other side of the door, and she thought she'd cheat by just sticking her head in, but then she went right in. So it's also about having fun while you're doing this and not putting too much pressure on them. As I said, this door is far too small. There's a new one on order. This one is far too small for these guys. It was a cat door that I unearthed out of my stock late last night. Callie, the cream girl sitting there, she's the mum of the current litters I've been selling. She can't work it out. She wasn't raised with positive reward before I got her. I got her at 8-9 weeks, and she's been using a lot of that too. But she tends to get a little stuck, and here she's very stuck. I don't think I captured it on the video, but at one stage she wants to try and jump over all of this, because that is her go-to behaviour, generally jumping rather than, so you can see she's looking up, generally rather than getting down, although she's quite capable of getting down and crawling through a very tiny space, because she does that if she wants to get under fences quite regularly. So I know she can get down, but she's a little more stuck. Cece, who's the sable cavoodle there that keeps coming in and out of the picture, she's very, very smart and always figures things out really, really, really fast. And she was teaching, see, Callie says, and I said then, no, don't jump. Callie eventually worked it out. The reward has to be very high for her, and she eventually worked it out what it was I was talking about. But like Cece figured it out, no end. Like, this is literally 6 minutes of video here, I think, all up. I haven't cut anything out. I've not added anything to it. This is basically what it took to do it. Now, are they really, really familiar with it? No. You still have to be very tentative at this stage, because you don't want them getting scared by something. And that's also why we don't tend to force this. And the boys, of course, haven't tried it. If you can see Banjo, the black and white there, He's he's actually there's really high value treats in there, stuff that they really like, and I did give them some outside to be fair, but um, he just can't work it out. Mind you, this door is a little bit too small for them. My old boy, it's too small for him to try and get down and get through that because he's 14 now, and that's problematic for him. And Edward, well, Edward, who's the younger black and white, the younger all black, he's a cavoodle, but he looks like a poodle. He just went, too hard. I'm just going to stay out here and get the treat she's handing to me out here. But it was a good little bit of fun to just quickly do this for the client. The client's where Luna's going next week. She actually she had a Labrador in the past, so it's a doggy door that's like at least 2 times, or probably 3 times bigger than this, and it's got a plastic. It's not a hard plastic; it's a soft plastic flap that there's literally moving quite easily in the breeze, and it's a door in and out from outside. So Luna's not going to have any problem with this. She picked it up really fast. Didn't stay in there after I finished all this because they said, okay, time over. Where are we going to now?